Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. Consultant and body language expert Susan Constantine. Susan, I'm going to start with you. You've been following this case very, very closely. Were you surprised in the verdict?
Yes, I was, but, not so much in other ways, because this was really the courtroom where Casey Anthony was acquitted. We sat in the same places. So I believe that what this was is kind of a trickling down effect of, this jury pool did not want to be known as the most hated jury that there is across the nation, and then have two of them here in Orlando. So this jury pool really did their work. They dotted every I, they crossed every T, and they really paid attention to the evidence.
Susan, I'm going to let you react to that. I mean, we heard of some pretty compelling evidence in the Casey Anthony case, and no one was convicted there.
Yes, and you know what? I agree with him. I totally agree with you there. I don't believe that has everything to do with the fact that he was convicted. I think that his demeanor and his confession, we had the first person singular pronouns, I, me, and my. 2 different times he confessed, and he did it over and over again. His demeanor, him losing control. I could see the pot boiling because every time he didn't like something, you could see him scratching his head. He was kind of rubbing his finger on the inside of his collar. The heat was starting to pour. And when he didn't like something, he slammed his fist down. So what I'm saying, you can put that all together. You compile all that together, being in the same courtroom, his demeanor, his confession, and the guns. That jury pool, we had 60 jurors on that pool at the very beginning during voir dire. And let me tell you something. Almost every single person in there either owned a gun, shot a gun, or had some sort of knowledge about guns. And that was a problem, especially when they called out and they said they wanted to see all of that evidence, the evidence tray, and they wanted to see the gun.
Again, we're trying to understand this family. Can you have any insight for us?
Certainly I can, and they were seated on right behind actually where the estate was seated, because the media was on the other side. They sat in the back row, and we had Mallory, who is the one that was, I call him the jailhouse rock. Her behavior at times, she would look down, she seemed to be kind of distanced, but when she would get up, there was this drama in this family. There didn't seem to be this sadness that I saw in Sarah. Sarah was broken. She was beaten up. She was so sad, which was consistent with a grieving daughter. Mallory, it was kind of a detachment. Now, the sister-in-law, she seemed to kind of take over that mothering position, and when the girls would leave, she'd follow right behind them. And then we had the 3 gorillas. They were always out there in the hallway, and anytime one of them walked out there, they were there, standing there like the Secret Service men or something, watching over like they were, afraid that somebody was going to attack these kids, which was ridiculous. So there was a lot of drama, almost kind of celebrity-like, that he felt that he was James Ward. And the children, not Sarah, but Mallory, kind of fell right along with that. She kind of enjoyed it all.
Wait. Susan, I want to make sure I understood that. Who you said there were did you say 3 gorillas waiting out in the hall?
Well, I call them the 3 big guys. He had 3, they were 3 bodyguards. One gentleman, my God, he must have been, 6'7", great big guy. And then 2 other great big guys dressed in black suits and white shirts. And they were always positioned, at the corners in the courtroom upstairs. So when one of them would leave to go to the restroom or what have you, they were all waiting there, watching, making sure that the kids were protected. And James Ward, because I went up to him and asked him, I said, who are you here for? Are you bodyguards? He says, no, we're here for his transportation. Really? They were bodyguards.
Transportation.